welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I would do a little bit of a flip through my 2024 journal that I've not long finished. So this is very new for it to be finished. Yeah, I thought I'd show you through just to show you what I've done. Yeah, all right, let's get started. So I've just tied a piece of fabric that I had in my stash around the inside to make it all, keep it all together. Yeah, I didn't put a ribbon on this one for some reason. Some I do, some I don't. You can always tie something around the outside if you like, just to keep it all together. It works a little bit better that way. This one has a bunch of charms that are on the top. I've just used lots of different beads, put Journal 2024 on there, all sorts of stuff. There's lots of different little bits and bobs on there. Yeah, it's just cute. It looks really nice when it's sitting on a shelf too, which is good. Adds to the charm of it all. All right, let's get started. Take that off. Okay, so I made this journal in about July or August last year. So to finish it by now is some sort of world record. Yeah, anyway, I've done it with a really nice cartoon, black and white cartoon fabric. I loved this fabric. It just sort of went. That way you can put any color with it. I love black and white for that very reason. I had some very old chipboard letters that I decided to use. Sort of went well with these little die cuts that are on there. I put a 2024 on a chipboard tag, I suppose it is. Yeah, so this came out really well. I was really happy with the final result. I wasn't sure to begin with, but yeah, extremely happy with how the front of this journal turned out. All right, let's open up and see how we go. So the first page, there's nothing on it, and that's okay. So I ended up putting I've had this in my stash for ages, so I thought I would put it on a paper clip. I made some of these last year with some bigger die cuts, you know, the bigger ones that you just can't always use. You'll see a few through this journal. And they're just made with a couple of punches, a paper clip, and some hot glue that holds it all together. And then I just slot them in different places. So it seemed to work with the front of the journal. So yeah, you don't have to scrapbook every single page. You can leave a little bit plain if you want to. This was out of do you remember the old Girls Annual from many years ago? This is actually a page out of it, and the cover is actually the old Girls Annual. It was looking a bit worse for wear, hence why I've covered it in fabric. If it hadn't have been, I could have used it just as it was, and put, you know, all the journal stuff and everything on it. So, but yeah, I really like how that turned out. All right, so I ended up making a little bit of a little introduction page, all about my journal and what it is. It's about my life for 2024. Lots of things that happened in that year, and photos from my camera roll. So the camera roll pretty much depicts what you scrap about, right? So yeah, I quite liked how this turned out, and I like that it's got a little bit of an introduction page. So it's a little bit about me, and you know, signed it on the bottom as well. All right, first page is about my son's football team. So these pages were just scrappy offcuts. They weren't very big, which is completely okay. I went with his football team because they're red and green, and they had lots of little reds, lots of little green, a bit of red and stuff in it, and added a paper bag that was red. And put a bit of natural cardstock that sort of went with some things on this side. Probably need to stick these down a little bit more, but that's okay. Yeah, a little bit of story about his grand final. Didn't end up how they planned, but that's okay. There's always next year, right? So yeah, these are great photos, great memory for him anyway. All right, turning the page. We went to an axe throwing place. I had some cousins up from Melbourne, and we decided that we'd go and try something completely different while they were here this particular weekend. So yeah, so I ended up putting, normally the way I scrapbook is I look at the colours in my photos, and I pick a couple of the colours. This was red, blue and black, so I went with the red, blue and black. Zach's probably the only one that has a bright green shirt on, but that's okay. It looks fine. It turned out fine. And I've added some, like, this is from a leftover from the front cover that I've just stapled down the side, so it adds a little bit of texture. I've got some what is it, cork lettering, which is very ancient, but it worked well, and I had the letters. So yeah, so just added lots of little bits and pieces, hearts and some little words. Yeah, it came out really well, actually. So in the paper bag, I have also added some extra photos, some journaling, and again, so, you know, some blue, all that sort of thing that's on it. Some, yeah, it came out really well, actually. So happy with how that worked. And because there's lots of black and some black and stuff in here, I just put some black and white spotty fabric just as a, so you can see it, you can pull it out and have a read, which is good. Nothing like a journal to be interactive. That's always good. All right, next page. This was a girlfriend's birthday party. She had an 80s themed birthday party, so we all dressed up, which was lots of fun. I went as Madonna. My husband was Angus Young from AC/DC. So yeah, it was good fun. So yes, I added lots of pinky bits. She had lots of pinky themes and stuff at her party, as you can see by the balloons in the background. So yeah, and I had this tag was already, I had already put in the journal. So I decided that I needed to use that for this. So this is a sort of a extension, I suppose, of this page. So then when you flip it, it's got some photos from Lucia, which was a Cirque du Soleil show that my sister, her partner, and I went to, which was lots of fun. So yeah, so it goes to show you can use anything as a page and to add extra photos. It's all about adding things, which is good fun. All right, this was a show we went and saw. One of my favourite Australian country stars was at a local country pub, so we headed out for the night and watched him play. And I've picked colours that are in there, blacks, greens, blues, and found things in my stash that went with it. So that's how that page came together. And some very ancient Love Elsie paper that I have been hoarding forever, and I only had a little scrap of it left, so I thought I'd use it all up on this page. So, which would be, oh gosh, I don't know how many years old. All right, next page is all about my cat. I just used lots of, these are actually the leaves from the front cover that I used, and some chipboard hearts and things. Yeah, pretty happy with that. Used up some bits that I had already for these. I didn't have many letters left in these, so I thought I'd use a bit of that in there as well. So good way to use up things. Cute girly page of my newest little great niece, Eleanor. So I went full girl on this page, which is cute. Lots of cross X's and O's and love hearts. It's always fun doing a little girly page. All right, we've got a new casino in Brisbane, so we headed in and had the night in the at the casino and had some dinner and stuff in there as well. So I used lots of different papers for this. Lots of brightness. You'll probably notice I love brightness. But yeah, found lots of little bits that embellishments that went with, some stickers, some die cuts. This flips, it's got another little photo of the sky bar at the top there. I could have used this for journaling, and even this and this, but I didn't really need it. I had all the journaling I needed was already put onto this card. So, but as an extra, it's always good to hide some photos if you want to. Yeah, and it shows people by putting a little tab on it. People think to lift it and have a little bit of a look underneath. But yeah, that came out really pretty. I like that page. The Titanic exhibition. This was in Brisbane last year, and I love Titanic, so I had to go and see the exhibition. And I went with lots of blues. I went with this Art Deco paper that I absolutely loved. It came in a kit that I get, and yeah, I ran with it in the end. With lots of flowers that worked really well with it as well. I just think it goes really well. There's a cute little paper clip there with a little star that's holding the moments on. And I did some little tags on the top here. These were two people that were on the Titanic. Molly Brown, she's quite famous in the movie, and this guy was the chairman, the managing director of the White Star Line. I think he's the guy that got in the lifeboat, excuse me, and in front of women and children. So he wasn't very popular. So yeah, I put there's a little vellum pocket in behind here that I thought I'd stick them in. So it's a little bit of a story about two of the characters that were on the Titanic, and then they just sit in there, which is quite cute. But yeah, I thought the golds and blue were perfect. A brunch catch up with some girlfriends in Brisbane. One was visiting from Melbourne, so perfect excuse to go and have brunch in the city, which was really nice. Yeah, lots of scrappy friends, so they always very happy to post for photos. Gives us all something to scrapbook, which is nice. This one was about Mother's Day. I used lots of pretty pinks. I sort of went with the colour of my cocktail in the background, and used up little bits that went. So yeah, it was nice. And me with my two kids. Another one of those little paper clips at the top there too, so which is fun. The Tina Turner show. So we went and saw Tina Turner's The Musical. Got these photos off the internet, so I ended up getting lots of things off the internet that, you know, for the show, because you're not actually supposed to take too many photos in there, which is fine. You can always find stuff on the internet. So I used up lots of little, you know, stickers, admit ones, things like that went with it. There's some journaling here, so it's got a little secret pocket sitting in behind here. Time to Shine. This was the stage, the front of the stage just before the show started, so I took a quick pic before the show started. Yeah, showed a little Time to Shine, and I put a heap of journaling on the back with the date. This is actually a Project Life card that actually went with the theme of my colours, which is actually quite cool. Doesn't always work that way, but yeah, so I did lots of journaling and stuff, which is a bit of fun. Talks about the story. So it doesn't really matter how big your page is. You can always find a bit of space to put plenty of journaling, fill things, pockets, make it nice and interactive, which is always good fun. Okay, Dopamine Land. This was also in the city, it was different. It was fun, but we had a good time. Good photo opportunity in the ball pit with my sister. We had a very big giggle over it. So yeah, I went with lots of purples and blues because that was sort of the theme that was in there. Lots of lighting, all that sort of stuff. So, and then I just found some embellishments that matched. Flowers have absolutely no relevance to Dopamine Land, but they work well in this scenario. So, and used up lots of lettering that I already had. So there's another one of those die cuts that I have. That I just stuck onto a paper clip with hot glue gun, and they just add a little bit of something to your pages, which is nice, and it tends to go. So, all right, next page. So this was about my 50th birthday that I celebrated last year, the end of last year, and this was the actual day that we went out for dinner. This is my family here, and yeah. Being seafood, I love seafood. We tried another one of the seafood places where you wear bibs and gloves. It's, yeah, lots of fun. Something I enjoy. And this is all scraps, all these little bits. So, it goes to show you can make a page out of not much, which is nice. Crumpet. So, I met an alpaca at Easter time last year. And out in the Gold Coast hinterland. That was a little bit of fun. So this page was all about crumpet. I found a cute alpaca which I've clearly been hoarding for some reason, and today I actually got to use it on this page, so that was nice. So yeah, Crumpet was quite cute. There was no spitting, no kicking, thankfully. So yeah, it was good. And I did a little bit of journaling on the back of here. That's just a Project Life card. And I just, yeah, added the journaling on there. Seeing as I had two biggish photos with not a lot of room to write journaling, and I really wanted to put his name and everything on there. So yeah, that came out really good. A night with Cold Chisel. So I went to see Cold Chisel late last year and met up with some friends. Took some great photos on, these are actually from the big screen. So that was a bit of fun. Yeah, that was a great night. Had a fantastic night with some girlfriends. So I added some more texture, just a bit of fabric down the side that matched in with the colours. Yeah, stamp, some washi tape. Yeah, used up lots of bits, which is good. Oh, this is about the finale of one of my favourite shows. So Yellowstone finished at the end of the year, which is very sad. So I thought I had to do a page in its honour as it went out. So yeah, so I found these from, I think it's a camping sort of a styled kit, which went really well with this. Mountains, Yellowstone is set in Montana in the mountains. So yeah, and these photos are all from the TV. So I just cropped them down and cut them out, and yeah, that's how this page all came together. Here's another one of those die cuts. He went well with that page, you know, similar colours, similar colouring, so was really happy with that one, which was nice. It's one of my first pages. I think this is the very first video I did on YouTube, about the two cute little ducks. I saw these ducks on my walk, and yeah, scrapped a little page about it. It's the world's tiniest scrapbook page, but that's okay. It's filled up another page in my journal, so yeah, came out really good. There's nothing in my envelope. I didn't end up really using it, so, but you could tuck something in there as a little bit of keepsake, or a card, or that a friend gave, anything like that can go in these. Just great for memorabilia and stuff. So all right, on to the next page. So these again are the world's tiniest pages, but I really like how these came out. Sometimes you don't need a whole lot of photos. We were only in Melbourne for the grand final weekend, so these were just some photos of breakfast, a wander over at South Bank, heading to South Bank. That sticker does not go in the middle of there. Yeah, so I just added some photos and some flowers that all matched, you know, the orange of my salmon on my breakfast. So yeah, that's how I came out with that. Yellows and things from the lemon. It came out really nice. Happy with that. Don't know if I was talking the other day about when I was making my journal. Sometimes it's best to put something that's a little bit firmer on the back of your delicate papers, because at some point these are all going to rip. I just know they are. So, you know, because it's such an old book, it's, you know, a little bit flimsy, not doing so great. But yeah, just as a little bit of a reinforcement to put something on the back to keep it a bit firmer. So this feels like it's not going to rip at all, but the bit that's hanging out might. So yeah, just a little tip. All right, this is about the grand final. My husband and I love our AFL. We went to the AFL grand final last year, met up with some friends, which was great. And yeah, so I took about 1 million photos of this day. So this is sort of the early part of the day as we're going to the G. This was out the front. We had just got to our seats and the game was about to start here. So, and Katy Perry was on. She was the entertainment last year. So I just made some very simple little tags with some very simple journaling on the back. And they just slide in this little paper bag, which sort of went. So that's always the fun part about putting together something like this with so many different colours. I just chose a couple of main colours. So lions are, you know, blue, maroon and yellow, but I thought that could be too crazy for a page. So I sort of went with plain blue, you know, blue of the background kind of thing, of the sky, stuff like that. I thought go a nice neutral color, and it's actually just clouds. And then I just had some embellishments that went with it. I printed this up on my printer with all the information with a typewriter kind of look of font. Yeah, that came out really good. I was worried these were not going to stick. I stuck them down about 3 times, but they're finally stuck, thankfully. Yeah, it's good. So this is about the day. So hence so many photos. I've done 1 page, 2 whole pages just on the grand final. So, but yeah, it was good. So this was during the game, towards the end of the game, and celebratory drinks with friends afterwards, which was lots of fun. So, but yeah, and I just sort of went with the block photo look, you know, that you could fit lots of photos into a smallish space. Sometimes the block is good for that sort of stuff. All right, so that's the end of the first signature. Then on to the next one. So again, I haven't used every single page. That's the back of that signature. That's quite cool. I quite like that. So I've left that. And I've also left the front of this as well. If I had so many more photos to put in it, I could use these pieces, no worries. Or I could scrap on this, not a problem at all. But I decided to leave it out. At some point, you've got to stop, right? And stop adding pages. So it's another part of a really old book from that girl's annual that's in there. So again, you know, very delicate paper that's probably going to rip in time, but it's, yeah, it just adds a bit of variety to it, which is nice. So this is one of those tiny little pages again, all about celebrating a girlfriend's 60th birthday. You know, it doesn't have to be much. I just used lots of papers and sort of overlapped and put them in, picked colours that we were all wearing, and matched them to my girlfriend Amanda's glasses. Same with this, and she loves orange, so I had to put some orange in there as well. Yeah, happy with that. Sometimes they can be, the simplest ones can be the best ones. All right, it's about a day trip with my daughter. We both had the same day off. So we ended up went out to, well, this place is about 30-40 minutes from where we live. So we wandered out for the day and did a bit of a bushwalk, had a drive around, saw a little wallaby, and had lunch at the pub on the way home, which was nice. So we had a lovely day out. And again, so many photos. So I ended up putting some journaling on the back here, which the camera looks like it goes with the rest. But when you pull it out, it's got plenty of journaling in there. There's a little vellum pocket in there as well. So he just sits in the back there, which is quite cool. So, all right. Fairy tales. This was an exhibition we had here in Brisbane, and all about fairy tales, which was pretty cool actually. I really enjoyed this one. It was one of the better ones that we've had here in Brisbane, that's for sure. So another one of the die cuts with the little paper clip, and yeah, just using up lots of stickers, some washi, put a little fabric tab on that one. There's even some tissue paper back there, just to add a little bit of dimension, make it feel a bit different. All right, Father's Day. So the good part about this is this one actually holds down this little pocket. There's a little pocket here, and there's some journaling. There's a journaling card in the back here for about Father's Day. I made that cute little envelope actually that goes in there. Watched a lovely lady on YouTube who makes them all the time. So yeah, that came in handy. Something different for your page. It's nice to have those little things on there. Yeah. This one, while the Olympics were on, my husband and I had been to the football, and we stopped in at South Bank, who was having they had an Olympic precinct, and they had a Eiffel Tower all set up with food trucks and things. So we stopped in, had some dinner, had a wander through, and ended up watching the marathon. The men's marathon was on, so we sat and watched that while we ate our dinner before heading home. So that was a bit of fun. New Year's. So this background paper was extremely busy and quite shiny. So I decided to put a bit of paint over the background just to dull it down a little bit. And I did it with pink because the fireworks were pink in that particular one. And then backed it with a darker colour to make them pop a little bit better. Used a heap of die cuts, put a little bit of journaling here, found some stickers that worked with it as well. Yeah, it came out quite nicely. So these are all actually from the same kit, the same collection. So they went pretty well together. That's the second part of it. So this is sort of the end of the night, and then this was when we first got there. We had some dinner. We caught the train in. Yeah, got these cute paperclip that's sitting in there as well. Came out nicely. And again, paper scraps. Just I went with the green on the coaster. There's a bit of green. There's a bit of black and white as well. So you can match nearly anything. I just pick things that are in my photos and run with it, really. Formula One. Formula One's a favourite game of my husband and daughter. They love to play this game. So we were both sitting there trying to beat each other's times on their laps. So yeah, I had to scrapbook it. It's something that I really enjoy doing, which is good. Something different in this one. I use lots of different, you have your chipboard lettering, and you no longer have anything that you can make a word out of. So I used that as a background. Seeing the beachy colours all went together, and it's very, very monochromatic. So I stuck all with the aqua-y sort of colours. Yeah, it came out really pretty. This was our coffee view up the Sunshine Coast, which was really nice. Eat Street. So Eat Street is a fabulous precinct to try food from all over the place. So I just used some photos with that. I already had a paper bag in here, so I thought this page was perfect. The reds and things of the lighting, my green top. It all worked out really well. This was our dessert. And then I just used lots of little bits here, there, and everywhere. Where did that come from? There somewhere. Yeah, just added lots of little bits here, there, and everywhere to make the story. And there's a few more photos here of that particular night. A heap of journaling, which is nice. I didn't have to use the back, so it worked out quite well. And put a tab on so people know to pull it out, which is nice. I did scrapbook on this side. I just left this quite plain, actually. I used the red. There's red on the front of these jerseys. So this is a friend of mine. His son, he was also the page boy at my wedding. He made his debut for Cronulla this particular night, which was very exciting for everybody. So yeah, I made a little page celebrating him, really. I remember as a little kid, he so wanted to make the big time. So I'm very proud of him that he's finally got there. So yeah, so I ended up taking the photos that were on the Cronulla Sharks page, all about him. And he actually debuted with another guy as well. So yeah, put a little bit of journaling on the back as well. Simple tags, nothing fancy or anything. So, and then I just cut down a paper bag. That's what this is. If I had left the whole paper bag, it would have been too high. It would have come up here somewhere, and I would have had no other room to put photos and things. So I thought I'd cut the bag down, and the photo overhangs a little bit, but that's okay too. So, but yeah, a milestone in his life that it's worth remembering, that's for sure. Oh, and while I'm here, I kept a little card. A girlfriend of mine that lives in Sydney is part of the Sharks members, and she sent me this beautiful little card, and she had got me one of his these little cards they were handing out to members through Aramex, which is the delivery place, I think, delivery courier. So yeah, she said, I grabbed one for you and sent it to you, so you've got a keepsake. So I thought I'd keep all this together, which was really nice. So thanks, Nay, very much for that. It's in pride of place in my journal. Pop that back in there, so that's nice to keep. All right, Christmas time. So this was Boxing Day with my husband's family. It's had a very bright Vicky Bouton paper, and it's that really thick paper too, textured paper that she loves. So, but it was a little bit too bright for these photos. There's a lot going on in these photos, to say the very least. So I chose 8 of my favorite photos, all in the same orientation, of different members of the family. Didn't get everybody, but yeah, got a good cross section of it. So used up some very old stickers that I have had forever, especially this one. My gosh, that's really, really old. But yeah, and just ran with it pretty much. Used up lots of bits, put some golds, some splatters. I stamped the date and everything on there, lots of stars. Yeah, just used up lots of bits and bobs. Used some sequins for the Christmas tree, as well as some stickers. Happy with that. That came out really cool. I was undecided, but it's a nice little memory to remember, that's for sure. My son's 21st. He turned 21 last year. Didn't want to party, so we all went out for lunch at a fancy restaurant on the river, which was lovely. We had a fabulous day together. So there's another one of those little paper clips, which is cute. Went through my sticker stash and used as many little bits as I could that all matched in. Yeah, groovy. Come out well. And this was the restaurant. I had the little Vespa. It's an Italian restaurant, so it had some cool stuff, that's for sure. Nice memory to remember, that's for sure. Whoops, it sits in there. This one was a get-together with my aunts and uncles down the Gold Coast. They were, 2 of them were visiting from Victoria, so we all caught up for lunch at the Gold Coast, which was lovely. So, and I've put some extra photos in here, bit of a story, yeah, which was nice. It was lovely to catch up with them, that's for sure. So that's another way as well. I just cut the top of the bag. The actual front of the bag is where it normally is, but I cut the top here so that I could still put some journaling in the top, which is cool. A little flip page. Ooh, little tiny flip. So it's from, had a weekend away early in the year. That was my breakfast. I have a thing about taking breakfasts. I love Avo Smash, and each time I get it, it looks completely different. So I love to take photos, and this one was a little bit of a work of art. So yeah, some journaling all about it. Some pictures of the beach where we stayed. Yeah. Actually, no, I like football. So my husband and I are Brisbane Lions members. So I used my sticker from last year and popped that in my book with lots of things that I could find that were similar colours. So I went through my stash and found lots of bits and bobs like transport stickers, and the yellow went, the camera went as well. So yeah, and just chose 4 photos from our multitude of photos that I take every time we go. So yeah. This was a farm trail day. My husband and I had never done anything like this before. So we did a farm trail where you hop in the car and you get the addresses. They unlock the addresses by email and you choose which farms you want to visit. So we spent most of the day. I think we visited about 5 or 6 farms, I think, in the end. So all over the place on the north side of Brisbane. So it was fun. I did lots of journaling on this to add extra photos. I had a ton of photos for this, so I went with quite a florally kind of kit, a collection I should say, and yeah, used lots of bits. I had some frames. I cut the frames up and put them all over the place, so adds a bit of variety. Put lots of dots, you know, anything to embellish really. And this is just an envelope, so this envelope's got somewhere to hold some more journaling, which is always great for holding and for you know, being very interactive. So came out really fun. My scrap space, my beloved scrap space. This is exactly where I'm sitting right now. I'm sitting here at this desk chatting to you all. So last year I had a holiday in September and we were away for 1 week and then I was home for a week. So I decided to give my scrap space a massive overhaul, which was lovely. It was nice to clean out, and you feel, you always feel good after you've had a good clean out. Throw out, I was very brutal. You've got to be in the right headspace to do it. Did lots of organising and bought some new containers and things, and yeah, it was good. So yeah, this is all about my scrapbook space. Some journaling on the back here. My scrap space is my walls are quite yellow and white, pretty much all of that. So I decided yellow, white, and I threw in some blue and some pinks to brighten the whole thing up. So this is a very old, I think it's an Amy Tangerine sticker that I've had for ages. So used that one up, which was good. And it's funny, this is that busy paper from the fireworks before I whitewashed it. Again, I still haven't used that particular page. And then I put another pattern paper. So it doesn't really matter what your pages are. You can always add to, like this one's got craft on the other side of it. Actually, no, it's from the envelope. So the envelope's on the other side. So you can make your page whatever color you want. You can change it up, whatever you need to do in these. My nephews, this is a random sequin in there. My nephew's engagement party, lots of photos with family. That's him, his fiance. Yeah, not sure I would put a doily hanging out again, but it's worked so far. It's just going to get quite screwed up over time. This side's fine, but when it's overhanging, it cops a little bit of punishment, that's for sure. But it's holding up so far, which is good. I also made this little safety pin and put some beads on it, just for a little bit of added variety on the fabric. So just to dress it up a little bit more, add some more variety to it. Christmas Day with my family. Again, lots and lots of photos. You always take 1,000 photos on Christmas, don't you? So I put them all in. I had some fun paper which had lots of different colors and stuff in it, so I went with that. Used up some very old stickers, so they're the leftovers of the other ones that are back here somewhere. I really wanted to use this sticker because it had been sitting there for, I reckon it's probably 8 or 10 years old, this particular sticker. And the jury is still out on whether I love all these little doodled bows that look like they're hanging from the ceiling. But hey, the page is done. I'm okay with it. Let's move on. So yeah, added sequins and some little stars and things, some more little stickers, little word stickers wherever I could. So this is Easter. So you might have noticed nothing is in order in this journal, and I'm completely okay with that. I just find a page that I like and I scrap about that particular page. So Christmas and Easter are right next to each other, when Easter should be before it, but it doesn't matter. My husband and I spent a few days out in the Gold Coast hinterland, enjoying some country hospitality, which was really nice. So I took some photos of breakfast. Again, another Avo smash. Again, it looks very different. So yeah, they gave us little Easter eggs with our cuppers, which was really nice. And because the Canungra, we stayed in Canungra, and they had this awesome wall that had lots of flowers and things. So this actually was the basis of my whole page, was all these colors and flowers and things like that. So yeah, it's one photo can make such a difference to how you choose to scrap it, which is nice. But yeah, it's a cute little town. This is the hotel we stayed in. We stayed at the local pub, which was good. This was also all part of the same trip. I left this for journaling, but didn't really need it after I had put most of my journaling here about going to the distilleries out there, which was good. But yeah, I thought that was cute. And it all goes. Don't have a lot of pinks and things in there. There's a couple of pinks and things in this particular, and a bit of timber like on the paddles and things like that. So I went with that in this one and ran with those colours. And you wouldn't it's no big deal that nothing matches. Like there's green here, but there's a bit of green on that paper. So yeah, looks great. I like it. And the last page, this is part of this trip as well. We played some mini golf. We went to the St. Bernard Hotel, which has these beautiful big dogs. They have about three or four of these dogs at any one time. They quite happily sit in the bar. So we went and had a drink in the bar, and the dogs come and sit next to you, and you can pat them and stuff. So, and this is one of the creeks at Thunderbird Park as well. So gorgeous place, that's for sure. And yeah, I just stuck with the greenery that was on some of these other pages. Lots of greenery in the photos, and then just added lots of other colours and stuff to it. So spare page, one I didn't need to, scrapbook. So, and that's just at the other page of the girls' annual. The other one's got quite a small little skinny slither down the other end, but yeah. And then that's the back of the signature. So you can, I could have scrapped on these. I chose not to. I didn't have too many more photos to add. So yeah, I don't mind that I leave a couple of pages here and there. It's all not too bad. So I hope you enjoyed that. Had a little bit of a look at this particular journal. Yeah, thanks for looking with me. It's always lots of fun to look back on these and look back at your memories and yeah, reminisce. It's always lovely. So I hope that's helped. If you would like to make a journal, or how I make my journals, quite happy to answer any questions that you have. Yeah, anyway, I'll leave that with you for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.